some. You're moded to your computer? Very good.
No microphone?
You have to do funky setup to make that work. I don't know how to do it 'cause it's Windows. Well, while you figure that out, we'll get started. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. It is
Christmas?
Oh,
6:31. Do roll call here in a moment.
Here.
Call off that you're here.
I'm here.
oh,
The first name called, so yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead and what?
yep.
Yep.
Where are we at?
Roll call.
Kaufman?
Here.
Hempel?
Here.
Where's here? Oh.
Here.
You stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. John, would you mind giving a prayer?
Dear Lord, be with all of us this evening as we try and make good decisions for the community and look out for the community with these very hot days, and everyone stay hydrated. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay. Approval of minutes.
Motion to approve the June 22nd. Oh, remember, I can't do it. I wasn't here.
Motion to approve the June 22nd minutes.
Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can you hear?
Mindy's trying to get Jamie on the queue there. So I will go with my mayor's report.
That was 3 ayes.
So
For the minute. 3 because he wasn't here.
So I was hoping to keep this short tonight, and then I actually sat down to write it. Tonight's report reads a little bit like a novel. Oops, I lost my notes. Pardon, technical difficulties. Tonight's report reads a little bit like a novel, 4 chapters and a recurring character named Silverton. I promise we're all substance and not filler. Before I get into the four items, a quick note. Last week we had a visitor, Stacy Rogers, who's one of the candidates for Republican nomination for governor, came through Lynn Valley as part of her tour of the state. I gave her a walk through our community. We drove around a little bit. We talked about the challenges we face as a small, growing Kansas City, infrastructure, economic development, everything that's on our plate. And the reason I'm mentioning it is I'm not endorsing anyone tonight. I will not endorse anyone in my official capacity here. But any candidate from any party that wants to come down and talk to us and walk our neighborhoods and listen to what we're dealing with is more than welcome to come in and have a conversation, and that's what we had. I appreciated her visit. I think it was nice for her to come by and spend some time with us. So now, with that said, I'll move on to my report. Got 4 things to talk about, all kind of meet the same theme of our future. So first is an update on the TAI overlay plus recent conversations. Second is the follow-up on the Silverton Power Inquiry. And third is a partnership conversation I had with a place called Prairie Paws that, oops, I'm having all sorts of technical difficulties tonight. Trying to use new technology. So a partnership conversation place called Prairie Paws, which is an animal shelter organization. And fourth, a new structure in making some decisions and citizens participation. Because there's a lot there, I'm going to pause after each topic to give you guys a chance to absorb, ask questions, raise concerns, anything like that, rather than going on and on and on, and then you guys have to remember what I talked about first. So First up is our TAI overlay status on that. We have a site up for that. I continue to keep that site updated with new information, addressing concerns and adding case studies of other cities that have gone through similar things, processes and things like this. The draft ordinance, the resident FAQ, and the policy summary are all posted there in plain language. Anybody can go out there and read every section, understand what's being proposed, and see how their concerns are addressed with cited third-party sources. Nothing about the framework is going to happen behind closed doors, and we've talked about that. We're continuing to work through legal review and adjustments. A technical conversation I want to report on is an important conversation I had recently that was sharpened my thinking on where we are and where we need to go. I had a conversation with Corey Plunk. Corey is a vice president of data center operations at Salute, a company that specializes in that particular field. I'd made a post on LinkedIn to my network, trying to solicit opinions from different people, especially in the technology space, and he saw it and reached out to us. His basic feedback is, what we got on the site is good. Our approach is reasonable. His specific guidance for any city was specifically on water. Air-cooled chillers eliminate the water concern entirely. He suggests that we would require that in our ordinance, not allow any type of water cooling whatsoever. On the noise, he said that's the real technical concern, that we should require third-party acoustical studies done by qualified engineers, not something the developer would ever produce themselves. On emissions specifically, he said Tier 4 emissions on generators, that's the standard in London County, Virginia, which is kind of like the epicenter of the data center in the country. And specifically on battery fires, gas suppression systems, and contained battery rooms, we should require third-party validation of the design. Specifically on jobs, roughly 15 full-time employees per 40 megawatt building, plus transient specialists, generator crews, servicing teams who get hired locally, well-paid positions, no huge credentials required. On the tax base, billion-dollar bills, with real money on the table for community benefits, infrastructure facilities, other city needs. His warning was some early developers were not competent. I think we're seeing that played out, maybe no Soatomy. Some early, they came in fast, promised things they couldn't deliver, and damaged the industry's credibility. So his basic advice was require third-party validation on everything: noise, fire, water, structural. Never take the developer's word for it. And finally, Corey volunteered to speak directly to this council and to our residents if we choose to schedule it. The conversation basically reinforced what we're doing with going through with the rules first, project second, full transparency throughout. So what I ask from you guys tonight is your consensus to schedule a dedicated town hall on this overlay district. Something specifically focused on walking residents through the framework, taking questions face to face, demonstrating that this is not a done deal being pushed through, because that's the farthest thing from the truth. I'd like to do it within the next 30 to 45 days before we throw this over to planning and zoning. So no formal vote or anything right now, just a consensus that we should schedule it and direction on preferred date and format. That's what I have on that topic.
And this is just an ask, could we meet with him as a council first before the town hall?
I don't see why not.
Would that be doable?
It still would have to be a public meeting, because we'd have a quorum.
Okay.
Wait, could he come up and talk at the city council meeting?
He's in Texas, so it would be over Zoom or something, but yeah.
But I think, and it's just me thinking out loud, I think it would be better to hear as a council meeting rather than a town hall first, and then have the town hall if everything's favorable.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think that would be very beneficial,
I
because then
agree.
it would give us some
I
time.
completely agree.
We would have a guidance to what we
Right.
need to be researching.
Time to process before
Right.
yeah,
Is he
So
gonna be
like
able
a
to come here?
Zoom for that meeting, and then
yeah,
Is he
if
gonna
you
be able-
could come to the town hall, that'd be great.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll try to get in for the next council meeting.
that's what I was gonna ask, you can be able to come in person to the town hall.
He probably could. I'd have to ask him, but we would probably foot the bill for it, because since he's down in Texas, he's not
Think
gonna
it'd be
fly up
better
here
in
for
person.
free.
It'd
Yeah.
be worth it.
For a town
Yeah.
hall.
So I'll reach out to him tomorrow and see if we can get that set up. Any other thoughts or questions on that topic?
Just appreciate all the time and effort you're putting into it.
Is this something we're gonna put out on a ballot for
Uh,
the final decision?
No, that's not how these things work.
You sure?
Pretty sure. Jamie can answer that for sure, but he can't hear us, so.
I'd like,
I don't know.
I'd like to see it put on a ballot, that way if they make the decision.
Well, so here's the thing though, I mean, so, just so you guys so we're all on the same page on how this operates. If we pass this ordinance, that doesn't mean anybody can come in and do it. We still have to go through a standard, conditional use permit and all the public hearings, all those kinds of things. All this thing is doing is creating the ordinance allowing for us to do that and have our structures put in place. So the way I see it functioning is we would have our town halls, more than one, to go over this with as many experts as we can get to come in and talk. Once we've done a few of those and council has a community consensus as far as what they think people want and the pros and cons and all that kind of stuff, then we would vote on the ordinance. If the ordinance would pass, then it's a waiting game for somebody to come in and say, hey, we want to do this. And then they would have to go through the cups and all that kind of stuff to make sure that, you know, what they're doing, and we still want to allow it where they want to do it, all those types of things. So, I mean, I'm not opposed to having a vote on it, I just don't know that that's something that's feasible. That's a question for Jamie. There'll be questions and answers later. Anything else on that? Move on to the next topic. The next topic is the follow-up on the battery storage question that we got asked from Silverton Power that we talked about last time. There's an important nuance I need to address head on. They're asking about approximately 1 or 2 acres for a battery energy storage facility. They're talking about being back near the Evergy substation there by the fire department, because that's where they would have access to what they need. So when we first started talking about this TIA overlay framework, we said it was, you know, would not be on Ullery or anything, because we don't want big infrastructure right there across the street from residential. This is not big infrastructure. This is a few small buildings and in 1 or 2 acre place that'd be hidden by the substation. So it's a little bit different than what the TIA. This is actually outside of that. And it doesn't mean we don't have to do this. I'm not saying we should or we shouldn't. I'm just giving you guys the information I have. So this is, you know, a small facility, taking 1 or 2 acres, tucked back. Well, we have to look where the lagoons are and everything, but tucked back around that substation. That's specifically where they've asked. I mean, it could be right next to the fire station too, as long as it's close to that substation. So, if we're going to have this conversation at all, we need rules and guardrails in place first, just like we are doing everything else. And whatever framework we create, all of our protections still apply. You know, the same setbacks from any home, the fire safety standards, decommissioning bonds, screening, dark sky lighting, fire district coordination, full conditional use permit process, everything they would have to go through just like anything else. So that's kind of on that part. And then Silverton offered to come in and do a workshop. So I asked them some questions, and they came back and answered my questions, and they offered to do a workshop with us. Georgia, their permitting and development lead, has proposed formal workshop for residents and council. They would cover, you know, battery storage 101, how the technology works, safety and reliability, grid resilience, local, state, and national site design and testing standards, their own expertise on power markets, utility coordination, permitting, infrastructure assessment, electrical, water, fiber, annexation strategy, and land use planning, ordinance development, including community meetings, potential impacts on traffic, noise, light pollution, public safety, all that good stuff. She recommends at least 2 hours for that. She's willing to bring in outside subject matter experts if needed. Honest word of caution. They're offering to help with the workshop, help with ordinance development, help with annexation strategy. That's a very generous offer on their part. However, it's just also smart for them to offer that, because whoever helps us write the rules also gets to shape the rules, obviously. But, you know, remember the good old saying that beware of Greeks bearing gifts. So while I appreciate their offer on all that, and I certainly would like to listen to anything they have to say, you know, the workshop for education, sure, we get a lot of value from that, but we maintain the ordinance work and all that kind of stuff. You know, they can talk whatever they want, but we're the ones in control of that, not them. Not with any company that wants to build here. That's why we're being preemptive. I really wish that Silverton would have waited a few months to come talk to us instead of right in the middle of, right after we start talking about this, they said, oh, look, here, we're gonna talk to you now. So I think it should pretty much focus on the battery storage, because that's what they wanna do. But we can, you know, listen to their ideas on other things, and they've got a lot of industry, expertise from what they've done in the past in different areas and companies they've worked with. So that is interesting. Another word of caution, this company is only about 6 months old. They're doing something different. They are building these small battery storage plants, battery storage systems versus the large ones that you see everywhere. And their thought is, you know, they put a lot of small ones in a lot of different places and get around some of the concerns of these big facilities. So it's an interesting concept, but I'm by no means sold on it. I'm not against it. I think it's something that we should, just like the rest of the zone, we should be looking into that, doing our due diligence and saying, is that something we want here or not?
So
That's all I have on that.
Why do we have to have a workshop? That's the
So
part
they
I
can
don't
come
understand.
explain to us what, I mean, they can do the same thing at a council meeting, but they're talking like a 2-hour, they'd come in and really, they want to explain, it's kind of like our town hall. They want to come in and explain the technology, explain the fire suppression, why fires can't happen, how they monitor for them long before they happen, all this kind of stuff. They want to give us all, I mean, I've had a couple hours of conversation with them myself. And I don't want anybody taking my word for it. I want you guys to hear directly from them. Other experts that we can come in that don't have skin in the game. That's why I appreciated that Corey that reached out to me. He has no skin in the game. That's the kind of people we need, is people with no skin in the game come give us the actual facts.
You said there was no chance of fire?
Not real, so what they told me, and we wanna do our due diligence on this, is that the monitoring systems they've got on these batteries, they can tell months away when they're gonna have a runaway issue, and they get somebody out here and replace that battery pack long before it happens.
That's some of the questions I got.
They have multiple layers of fire suppression
Yeah,
and detection, and then, like you said, when the batteries begin to fail, they're alerted to that right away, so they can get those removed and changed. There's heat detection on them, so if the battery starts to heat up, they'll know days ahead of time before it would actually get to a point of fire. Then the water systems, there's a lot of different
yeah,
fire suppression built into that one,
Yeah.
different levels of it.
yeah. And these are, the pictures I've seen that they've sent and everything, I think was in your guys' packet last time, were basically containerish type buildings that hold a certain number of batteries. So it's not like you'd have a big, 10,000 square foot facility or 50,000 square foot facility full of batteries. You have a bunch of small ones. So even if something did catch fire, it's isolated to,
Okay, what
one
kind of
building.
cooling system is this building gonna have?
Excuse me?
What kind of cooling system?
Batteries don't really have a cooling system. It's not like a data center. Not from my understanding. That'd be a question to ask them because I don't know the fact on that. But it wouldn't be water
Lithium
cooled.
batteries in the EVs, or they gotta have cooling?
It would not be, water.
Okay.
I mean, that's my recommendation. We don't, whether it be a battery storage or whether it be a data center, whether it be anything, we don't allow water cooling.
Okay.
I think that's just the safest stance to take.
Well, they want to put it down by the fire station. What if something catastrophic does happen?
Fire-
Don't that all drain right to that creek that goes right into that?
That's questions to have. I mean, those are all the questions we need, that's why we need engineering studies, we need all these things, I don't think we should just flat say no to these things without doing those kind of things, but we're not paying for those. Yeah.
I have more questions about the battery than I do the data.
And, as far from a revenue standpoint, the batteries are definitely a lot smaller revenue source. The big revenue source on a data center is the 5% franchise fee tax we get, from their energy usage. Because the property tax is pretty minimal the way Kansas wrote things up. We would get, for the battery storage, we get a lease on the land and, some taxes based on some of the stuff, but it wouldn't be a huge windfall. be another little nice chunk of change, but it may not be enough for us to consider it, but we need to at least do our due diligence on it.
Yeah. But I agree, I got more questions on the battery thing, but
Yeah,
want to be able to talk to them about it.
yeah. So we need to determine how we want to, do we want them to speak at a council meeting? Do we-
I don't think a workshop is needed yet. I'd like to maybe have it as a council meeting first. And then if we need to write an ordinance, they can help us with that in workshop later on. That's the way I see it. That's my 2 cents.
I don't think that we let them help us with an ordinance at all.
Yeah, I don't want them to help us with our ordinance.
Well, I
I
mean-
think that if, giving us tips, you know, that we can vet against other people, that's great. But I don't want them giving us any language for an ordinance. I don't want them, you know, saying, this is the way it has to be. Don't trust these people. Not that I think they're all dishonest, but, you know, they've all got an agenda, so we should take what they say with a grain of salt and verify it. But the first step is to hear what they gotta say. So I can try to get them to talk at the next council meeting as well. I don't think that'll be a problem. On to something that's not about any of that, that's actually a little bit more fun. So Prairie Paws is a animal shelter. They run 3 animal shelters in different cities and take care of a lot of animals. This idea started outside of City Hall. My daughter Jennifer actually had been looking into animal shelters for quite a while, and she'd been doing some due diligence on her own, you know, completely nothing city inducted at all. So she went out and did research, and through that research she found Prairie Paws. And the reason she did this, let me back up a second. And Corey, you can correct me if I'm wrong, there's no animal shelter serving Lynn County or Miami County.
We're on the back of the list, because most of the ones in Prairie Paws
Yeah.
in Ottawa,
Yeah.
they have contracts with them.
Right.
So they have to leave space for them to put in,
Mhm.
so they won't take on it.
Yeah.
So
So,
we end up with dogs for
That you keep-
3 and 4 months.
Yeah.
So we, hopefully those can get a lot of time.
yeah. So anyway, she was doing her own research because she was seeing what she could do to maybe figure something out for both Lynn and Miami County. And we're kind of in a good spot being right there. So she found Prairie Paws, and she had a conversation with them, just trying to learn what she would need to do if she wanted to start one of these or whatever. And their executive director, Vanessa Cowie, gave her a lot of information, and then she said, you know, it might make sense to look through a partnership with us or somebody like us. So I sat down with Jennifer and Vanessa and had a nice, like an hour-long conversation or so. So they run shelters in Emporia, Manhattan, and Ottawa, 3 counties and 27 cities, is what they do for it. Their model is the city, whichever the hosting city is, owns the building. Prairie Paws leases it for free and operates it. They fundraise the majority of the operating costs, and if I remember correctly, and don't quote me on this, they also will pay for half the cost of the building if we have to build it. Government, how they finance it is through donations, and government partners like us or other cities give them so much a year per resident served. It's like, I think she said it's about $6 per resident served per year. So for us, it'd be around $6,000. So if we go in the area that they defined as part of their conversation, which is Lynn County, most of Miami County, and a little bit of Anderson, it's 46,700 people that we could potentially serve with an animal shelter. Right now, like you know, Corey said, there's no shelter that serves that gap. So anybody who finds a stray, needs to surrender an animal, they don't even where to take it here anyway. So what they said they needed is like 3 to 5 acres, probably around a 7,000 square foot building. Barn dominiums are fine, just like you're exploring with City Hall. There is some land potentially available for purchase, maybe not. We're trying to figure that out. That we might be able to do with that. That's right here in the city. Could tie directly to what we're doing with City Hall and everything else. So our share, our operating, $6,000 a year for us as far as a annual operating cost to fund our portion of shelter is pretty much nothing. The only way it works though is if we get multiple cities in the counties involved with this. It's always it works. So it's gonna take some legwork by somebody, and say my daughter is working on it. Anybody else, if we choose to move forward with it, we can help her. A couple other things they also have. They have a mobile surgery suite that they travel around to. That's one of the reasons they do it so cheaply. They use this mobile surgery suite that goes to their different locations. They also do low-cost spay and neuter clinics and low-cost vaccine clinics out of that. And you do not have to partner with them to use that service. That's something we could offer. It seemed like they said like $5 for the vaccines or something like that. So it's something we could offer, even just, they bring their surgery center up here in the parking lot, we let people come in, schedule with them, and, doesn't cost us anything, but it helps everybody out. So that's all early stages, just had a conversation, just wanted to share that with you guys. There's nothing official behind that. It's just something that kind of came up, and sounds like it serves a real need. They also could help out with the TNR program. That's something they've done in the past too. So that's pretty much my report on that. Thoughts, questions? Any interest in continuing to look into this? Don't care?
I
Need
just
more
got a phone
information?
call about a bunch of feral cats
Yeah, I saw,
today.
I saw that somewhere else too.
So you're saying you could build this place and then have, like Pleasanton, Lacine, and all them chip in on building it? And then it serves all them
Mhm.
different towns?
And they chip on, they can chip in on the building, they have to chip in on the per capita. So, for
Right.
every city, or like the county decides the county's gonna do it on the unincorporated areas, however many people are in the unincorporated areas of Lynn County, the county would put in. And that's the only way the math works, if you get enough municipalities to sign up and say, we're gonna commit to this. And since there is no need, I think, it's something that's feasible. There's a lot of details to work out, but it's.
It'd be worth talking about, but I need to see who else is gonna step up.
Yeah, that's the thing, I think it's like the first step is to, get some more information from Prairie Paws and, somebody go to these other cities and say, hey, we're looking into doing this. If the numbers were favorable, would you wanna do this too? And start having those conversations. This is not a quick project by any means, but it is something that,
Even if it wasn't built here, it could be built in Pleasanton or?
yeah, it can be built anywhere.
To service everybody around.
Yeah.
Save court and have them hold on to them dogs forever.
Yeah, because our option, we can't find a place for them, honestly. We keep them till we
Yeah.
find somebody, or you euthanize them.
Yeah, and that's the thing, this is what, they don't call themselves a no-kill, they call themselves a low-kill, because if there is an aggressive animal or a dog or cat or something that's very, very bad shape, they will euthanize them, but as a general rule, they won't euthanize just because they can't find a home,
Right.
which I'm a big, big proponent of myself. I don't like kill shelters.
We've avoided that here the
Yeah.
entire time I've been here, as far as euthanizing anything. We just suffer through taking care of them every day, and so we can find somebody that,
Yeah.
speaking of, I've got one in the fire station right now, if anybody's looking for.
What kind?
It's a little yellow dog, very friendly. Very, took a trip with me to the landfill today. Place to go. That's not my house.
The last thing on my marathon report is standing up some advisory committees. What I would like, when we need input on a specific issue or things that take a lot of research, community input and everything, instead of, we're all spread pretty thin as it is, instead of us doing all the homework or paying a consultant to do it, we use these citizen-ran advisory committees. Right now I'm proposing we establish 2 to start with. The first would be an Economic Development and Growth Advisory Committee. Their charge would be business attraction, retention, working on the TIA overlay coordination, tourism, community branding, grant opportunities, comprehensive plan updates, all those types of things. They would be helping advise us on those types of things. Second, a Parks and Recreation and Community Enhancement Advisory Committee, future park development, trails, playgrounds, community events, beautification, landscaping, dog parks, all those types of things. I have been told from a reliable source that if we actually have somewhere to build a park, we could get around $75,000–$80,000 a year from this source to build parks. That would not come out of our ad valorem tax for the city. So it's something to be considering at, because there's things there's lots of cool things and ideas I have, but I don't want to say hold on right now, because if we form this committee to do it, I don't want to poison the well, so to speak. I'd like people out there to come in and say, this is what we think, or this or that, or standard provisions with that should be in your packet. 5 to 7 committee members per committee, 1 non-voting council liaison, a non-voting POA liaison, if they choose to appoint one, and staff support is appropriate. I would serve as an ex officio member. They're strictly advisory. They study issues, gather public input, make recommendations. They wouldn't make policy, don't spend money, they don't direct staff. All decisions would still come back to this council. Draft charters are in your packet. I'm asking for discussion and direction, no formal appointments or creation tonight. This is more informal. Think about it. We'll talk about it more later, but I want to get you guys' brains thinking on it. Pros, cons, all those things. So that, I think, is all I have on that topic. Yes, that's all I have on that topic.
I'm all for it, if you can get somebody to be on.
I'm with Fred there.
Okay? And I think that is all I have for my report. Yes. Okay, so moving on, finally. So we'll go through all that. Clerk's report.
At $118,457.53 in vouchers. Total income was $436,151. Approve those vouchers.
I'll make a motion that we approve the vouchers for a total of $118,457.53.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Did you say aye?
I heard it.
Okay.
Pay voucher number 13. $666,548.75.
I'll make a motion to approve payout number 13 for the amount of $666,548.75.
One second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Budget time.
My slide has an error on it, so
Oh.
listen to what Mindy says, not what my slide says.
Okay, so far this year we're actually doing very good on our budget. We're not even like halfway. So we're doing really good. For next year, I have to report to the county by the 20th of this month if we're gonna go R&R, revenue neutral. On the advice of the Midwest Assistance Program, I am revenue neutral, by the way.
Yeah,
But-
this year you are, yeah.
I can be for 27 also.
Oh, okay.
Our mill is 27.629. No, 27.630, and I am at 27.629. The problem, she's advised me though to report to the county that I'm gonna exceed. Because county, when they do their assessments, is not due till the end of September. So if they raise our assessed value, it lowers my mill levy and I'm already locked in. And then I'll exceed anyway. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the way the state and county does things is backwards, which makes us have to say that we're gonna exceed when we wouldn't if we knew those assessed values before we have to say whether we're gonna exceed or not, which is really,
So the plan is to tell them I'm gonna exceed, and if I don't, I'm not gonna exceed unless they increase
Yep.
the assessed value. So I'm only
And
like,
will that, they do their assessment before our final budget?
I have to report mine.
I know you have
Yeah.
to report that, but I'm saying.
They don't have to report till till September. So I have to report before them, and they're the ones that determine the mill.
Yeah.
It should be the other way around. Because we're so close. I'm so close. That if it went up, $1,000 changes me from neutral to exceed.
She's probably right for you to say that we're gonna exceed it.
So I'll call the county and exceed. And then I'll get it in the paper and we'll probably have the hearing either the first or second meeting in August. So, any questions on?
Making sense out of nonsense.
Apparently a little town in Kansas did this last year and got in quite a bit of trouble when they didn't do anything wrong.
I think it justifies a call to our congressman about getting that.
Yeah, who was
The
that lady
order.
that was down here?
Yeah, but have a conversation with Ms. Rogers if she gets in and, hey, or whoever gets in. I'm not above calling the governor and asking him for
I was just,
fix things.
when they explained that to me, I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it
But
is.
That's
It's-
the rule.
Yeah, they really should make the county do all that kind of stuff first so cities can make correct decisions.
Well, but they, if you exceed, you get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happens when a city gets in trouble. I don't want to find
Yeah,
out,
I never want to find out.
but I'm sure it can't be good. So we're gonna exceed, just not really.
But that being said, even if we don't this year, being that close, probably pretty likely that for 28 we would, I would guess.
Could be.
Unless we find another revenue source somewhere or find places we can cut. So, just get that out there in everybody's head too. Is that all you got?
That's all I've got.
Building inspector.
Had 32 inspections in the month of June. It's definitely going up, normal in the summer. I think we're at 8 or 10 active water people as of right now, not counting obviously whoever went on the water with the POA, just new hookups that are hooked up. I think it's 8 or 10 right in there so far. I know there's another pile of applications sitting in there waiting to get sent out, so that seems to be going well so far.
Nobody else has turned water on without telling us? No?
Haven't ran into anyone else who is illegally hooked up at this point, no.
Or dug a trench without a permit.
Yeah.
I wonder who did that.
I will say that my meter got put in and they were using my meter to flush and they did not seal it back. Hettinger did not.
They didn't seal it back.
Yeah, we got the little wire
Yeah.
seals. And we implemented that because people were hooking
Oh.
up
Yeah.
willy-nilly and doing stuff they shouldn't ought to been doing. So we put a seal on it, and if they break the seal, they don't get water. They get padlocked next.
Well, I guess you don't get water then. You broke your seal.
Yeah. That's like leading from example.
Yeah.
Why, we got 2.
You had the same thing?
I didn't do that. I just started digging my trench a little
Without
early.
a permit.
I was just messing with him, but you, I'm actually disappointed. Well, speaking of those, since we're on the meter thing,
Uh-huh.
is Hettinger willing to, some people need their meter in a different spot than what BG put them at? Is Hettinger willing to make that move?
Within a few feet.
If you catch them, they will, and you can catch them, I've known people who've done this, they've caught them doing it, or caught them getting out there, say, hey, no, can I put it over here? They call the supervisor in, they make sure everything's okay, and then they
Cause
do.
it makes no difference on them, they're putting a T in for it anyway, so putting a T here or putting a T15 here.
There's something about the total length of the line can't be over so many feet, so if you want, based on where you want it moved or something, I don't know all the details.
Well, the ones I'm talking about is all moving it closer.
Well,
Closer to the water.
And like, Sammy's, what is it, Magnolia Tree or whatever, they got it set up to have 2 meters right
Yeah,
there.
that's been changed today.
they're running into a couple issues. One of them is kinda like the grinder pumps. There are some grinder pumps in here that we can't locate, can't do it.
Yeah, 'cause they didn't put a tracer wire on.
And Mike has to locate these grinder pumps, but he's got no map. So if everything is not documented where it's supposed to be, then we'll be off.
Yeah.
But then there's another issue, they can't move the meter over next to the grinder pump within so many feet.
Yep.
So there's a lot of criteria that they have to meet to move it.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Bob Burgess lives on Southland Valley Drive. You know the little place with the clay tile roof, just before Elm Street, before it makes the turn on the left, where the new homes are?
Oh, yeah.
Bob lives right across the street.
The Taco Bell house.
There you go, Taco Bell house. The meter is staked on the east side of his driveway, and it's like 7 feet on the other person's property.
He needs to have a conversation.
Well,
There's a few
I
more
had
things to talk
brought it
about on
up,
meters
and
today.
I don't know, I know at one time, we probably talked to Henninger, but they stopped running, and then I haven't seen them back up there on that spot. And I know he's nervous because he wants the meter on the west side of his driveway, because his property starts right there on the east side of his driveways. So, that's something it would be nice if somebody from Henninger or somebody could go over there and take a look at that.
So here's what I've been doing. People come in here, they tell me they want their meter moved for whatever reason. I take a snapshot on the computer and I mark where the meter is, where they want it, draw an arrow, send it to Aaron.
Okay, okay,
It doesn't hurt to ask. I don't know what any of the results are,
okay, that's fine.
so that's what I've been doing. Because some of them,
He doesn't need to be waiting on them or be scared that he's gonna miss them. He needs to get it documented. That's the
so
big
he comes
thing.
up here.
Okay, so I'll talk to him, I'll see him, I'll drive by, I see him every day almost, so I'll tell him to come up here, and that way it's set in stone.
Because I mean, some people
Perfect.
want them to bore under concrete to
Yeah,
get, you know.
and I know we talked about this, but,
No,
you
that's
can tell
ridiculous.
Henninger, but they're all over the place, and so.
I got a couple meter things to talk about too, but I'll wait until we get to the water project report.
I brought it up because I told him I would look
Yeah.
into it, and I didn't want him to think that I dropped the ball on it.
Well, you definitely dropped the ball.
We can do some changes, we just gotta know about it.
Okay.
Any other questions for Matthew? Codes enforcement, Paige. Paige gave us a really
Oh,
pretty
I know,
poster to go with it.
I saw, what is going on?
ChatGPT, dude.
No,
We're
Paige
learning.
did it.
We're learning
It's all
the
fancy
new thing.
dancy.
Okay, during the month of June, I issued 2 weed violation letters. I currently have 4 cases pending in the court system, with 1 additional case scheduled for July court. I also sent 2 certified letters and conducted 6 property visits. June was an important month for the city as we began water billing for approximately 140 customers. I also mailed out about 70 letters regarding newly installed meters. Of those, 6 meters are connected and ready for billing this month. I was unable to take the test in June as originally planned due to the demands of the first billing cycle and the process of adding new meters. The test was purchased in May of '26, and I have 1 year to complete it. With this extended time frame, I hope to take the test by December of this year.
I have a question for you.
Oh, no.
I think you're the person that I need to bring this up to, if I'm not positive. There was about 2 years spent with Lou Donaldson and other people, which I wasn't involved with it, so I didn't know the whole scope of it, that those buildings that were for sale up there next to the lake shop were not supposed to be next to the lake shop for sale. And Lou Donaldson finally got those off of there, and now I see they're back.
Prior
Can
to-
anyone explain?
Why were they not supposed to be up there?
Something about it's not commercial property?
It is commercial.
No.
The zoning map,
My understanding is it's commercial property.
those are all commercial.
All I know is that they spent like 2 years trying to get them off of there and finally got them off. Now it's back.
I don't know what he's doing with it now, but it's commercial over there.
It's a different company up there, I know that.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yes,
different
yes.
company, it's
No, it's
Markup.
It's the
It's
same
the
guy.
same
It's the
individual
same
that the
hot
company
guy,
has.
but he has different, a different company selling the buildings.
If it's commercial property, then I don't know that we have any, I mean, next door is commercial property that has buildings on it. So I don't know if there's something special about that property where we wouldn't allow it.
Like I said, I wasn't involved in
Yeah,
all of it, but I got people asking me, why did they take forever to get them off and now they're right back on?
I do not know. Is that something you can
I can look into
do?
it.
Okay.
Anything else?
How are our musk thistles going?
I've sent out reports and people are removing them.
Good.
So I've not had to take anybody to court yet.
Good.
Ruins the fun.
Never asked me to post that for you.
What happened?
I got people, that's not a weed, I got rid of my dog.
Oh.
It's beauty, it's nature,
I
it's,
didn't say it.
It's what the state of Kansas says it is, so, you know,
Exactly. I got rid of my dog.
maybe I'll take that up with the governor too.
Benefits.
Everything has medical benefits. Doesn't mean it's good for the,
Sometimes they're good medical benefits, sometimes they're bad.
exactly, I was
You know.
gonna say, yeah, thistles probably have most of the benefits of the negative side.
Just don't take the dandelions away from
your
the
name
bees, that's
didn't
all
mean
I
that
ask.
for somebody else's
I hate thistles.
benefit.
Anything else?
So is the POA getting rid of the ones that are on common property?
They should be. I have to go out and reinvestigate and take pictures probably.
Cause there's some, what hole comes across on the Frisbee golf course, comes across that little bridge coming back this way?
6.
Yeah, hole 6. Yeah, 'cause 5's right there, yeah, 6, hole 6. You know where those thistles are?
Yes.
Oh.
I actually read meters up there. Once a month I read a meter up there. And yeah, I've brought that to their attention and have taken pictures, so we will see. Come next month, if it's not taken care of, I will be sending them a court message.
I just noticed them when I was looking for lost frisbee. And they hurt. They're very hurt.
Anything else?
No, it's a nice job on that.
Thank you.
So do we start calling you Chat Page?
No.
Chat page.
No.
Oh, one more thing. No, go sit down. your lungs in,
Yep.
Wendy. Okay, I didn't have anything from the report earlier, but we have it now. Anything you wanna say particularly about it, or?
No, I don't know why, I sent it to Wendy last week, for some reason she couldn't open the report, and I saw that this morning, so
Operator,
we ended up getting it rectified. Well, I don't know what it was, because I couldn't open it on my end either. It was into some super secret code or something.
so did the corgi get returned to its rightful owner? Is
The
what-
corgi, yes. Only thing I have to add would be something that actually came up today. So when we built that police station down there, we put a mini split on it, and I bought a unit, less expensive unit, $1,200, something like that. But it's lasted us 5 years, but it's decided now that it's had enough. So I got a quote to put a Bosch unit in there, a good name brand one for $4,000.
You think you need air conditioning?
Well, it gets a little hot. It's a little intolerable, I would say.
My
Wow.
cousin Frankie's got something that can get you out of the back of a truck.
Okay.
My
Do
cousin Frankie got the, he can probably get you a Bosch too, for like
Yeah, the
$600.
$600 ones? Yeah, I tried to avoid those.
Just don't ask, don't ask where he got them from?
Don't
Yeah,
don't worry about where they came from.
The one that I bought, I tried to make sure I got one I can actually get some parts for, and then the ones out of the back of the semis typically, there's no,
Yeah,
they're good deals.
there are good deals, but you have no idea what to, you gotta YouTube to figure it out.
But that exceeds my spending authority, so I asked permission to spend $4,000 to have that Bosch system put in.
I'll make a motion that the police department can move forward on spending $4,000 on a Bosch unit, mini split.
Anybody second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Cool. I guess you get to sit in the cool then, so we'll let you have the air
All them
conditioning.
prisoners, cool.
It's more for Brett, he probably.
Fire department report. Any questions on that?
Oh, I would, just could tell you our,
Yeah, fireworks.
fundraiser.
Yeah.
So after all expenses and everything, I think we were just under 12,000, profit on it.
Nice.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
And they're sold out and everything.
Yep. Yep. We try to make sure I don't store any of that stuff. We did have the, state fire marshal stop.
Oh, yeah.
The last day. I had everybody a little nervous, but it was fun.
You know, if you have extras, you can just have a big bonfire and that'd be really pretty.
Yeah, the only, he even said, really, I know this doesn't make any sense, but we had 2 giant 12-foot garage doors standing wide open on both sides of the building. I didn't have exit signs on them, so just gotta tell people that's how to get out. I don't know.
You know, if it caught on fire, I never would have thought to go out those doors. You know, without a sign there, I would just stood there and burned, you know.
Yeah, so anyway, next year we'll make sure I have some signs up.
Some of us have done, they don't need fireworks.
Sewer report. Good news on Lagoon expansion. The USDA did their final approval, and we're just waiting on the contractor to give us a start date. They were finishing up a job, so it's not gonna be getting a start date really quick.
How many start dates we had now?
I don't know, but this is our first time we're gonna get one that actually has everybody signed everything they need to. So, it might actually happen.
When they actually are.
So once we know that, we will schedule a groundbreaking and get the newspaper out here, take pictures of all us smiling by the big hole we're gonna dig. Any other questions on lagoon stuff? Nope. Water report, Richard.
I don't have a lot to offer, it's just, they did cut a fiber optic in front of my house when they went to put in my line. I don't know how many people it affected, but I did witness a lot of unprofessionalism by the people's technician. That concerns me, because I can put up with a little bit of non-professionalism, but, I mean, if they're doing this every time there's an accidental cut, that bothers me a lot. So anyhow, I do know that they're flushing lines, they're flushing the lines down my street. I don't know where the testing is, I have not heard. So, the lines down Holly Lane and the subsequent, how many ever, 3 or 4 streets there that they've gotten done. I don't know where the testing is there, so I haven't heard. I do know that Jim with BG, he's trailing them pretty hard. And then I did notice, and I think I shared, they left the construction gate open. I would have stopped and locked it, but I maybe wasn't very mobile back then, so, that concerns me, that the construction gate was open. And other than that, I think they got a lot of rock out, which is a good thing. Then I seen a tow truck the other night hooking up to one of the rock haul trucks, so they may be down a truck. And what was your question about meters?
Before my question about meters, I just want to say that, you know, being hooked up to the water line worked really well. Water seems to taste fine. Consistent pressure is nice versus using a pump. So, you know, if people get hooked up, I think they're gonna like it. Meter questions. So I've had a couple reports, one just today, where they're stopping to put meters in places that make absolutely no sense. Vacant lots, the storage buildings, somebody's garage that's just a garage on a lot. I don't know what we need to do about it, but if people aren't home and catch this, they end up with a meter that should never have been placed there in the first place.
I do know that they tried to put in a meter at the storage units, and the pit was already in. I think the line was tapped, and I suggested we just leave the pit there, leave the tap there, don't put a meter on it, take that meter and let somebody else use it. Somebody, I mean, this same guy might not own the storage building forever.
Yeah.
So, somebody
Yeah.
might need water. He
Right.
doesn't. Now, these other instances, we've had several conversations with Edinger, and I don't know how to fix that.
I don't know if it'd be worth us driving around and looking at all the future spots that haven't got a meter yet, and
I would take time once in a while to go do that, but the way they've got these streets coded, I don't have a clue where I'm at.
yeah. I don't know, maybe
Because
we can,
in the construction meetings, they'll say, we got all the meters done on G and all the meters done on H. That's not a street name for me.
yeah.
So, without knowing where they're at, I mean, I
Yeah.
would do it. I just don't know where.
I don't know if that's something that B&G might be able to help us out with, and, you know.
Well, I'm
but-
sure if I knew how to read the maps over there, that would help.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe we can get, well, Mayfield's probably busy enough, so too busy to go around and do that, but,
They're supposed to have 2
yeah.
inspectors, I thought.
I will reach out to Aaron, I'll copy you on the email, and see if we can figure out something, because it's just, if somebody doesn't catch it, then, and on a related note, I got an email, and I think a gentleman talked to you guys late last week. There's a gentleman, and I haven't gone by and looked to see, get the details on this yet, but he emailed me on Friday afternoon that he's part-timer, he doesn't come down here very often, he lives in a camper but has an accessory building on his lot. He has, a meter got placed there, and he's like, I can't afford to pay this, monthly fee. I haven't even gotten water filled in months. So I feel for the guy. I don't know exactly what we can do for him, because we did lots of messaging, texting, emails, all these things, telling people in the campers, if you don't want to be on the meter system, you can opt out. This gentleman did not do that, he didn't get, I don't know how he didn't get the message, whatever. Something that I could see that we could potentially do for him and anybody else is in this situation, it's a council decision, is if the individual is on a camping lot, they live in their camper, or they're only a part-timer in their camper, and they have an accessory building and they got a meter they didn't want, that if they're willing to let Matthew come in and make sure there's no water in said accessory building, and willing to pay to have the meter removed before it gets connected to their house or their camper or whatever, we could potentially do that, but I want you guys to make that call, if that's something we want to do.
This
And
place
here's
did-
part of the reasoning behind it is, if he can't afford it, he's not gonna pay for it, and we're gonna have a meter sitting there that we're not getting any money out of.
Yeah, what are you gonna do to him if you decide,
Yeah.
hook up to it?
Yeah.
I don't care what you say.
But
So-
he didn't look like an RV.
That's, I haven't gone by and looked, so I don't know.
He showed me pictures. They enclosed the RV and put a room. It looks like a house.
Yeah.
There's an RV in there.
So it was counted as a house.
Yeah.
It looks like a house.
Oh, you're talking about Carl Mars's place?
No,
No, this is Vincent somebody or another.
because he goes, you can come in and look at it, and I'm like, no. I mean,
But,
it
you know,
looked like a house to me.
I feel for the guy, there's probably gonna be others like that, but we can't eat the cost.
Well, we can't set a precedence like that. I mean, the storage unit, it was different.
Yeah.
Because
Thought he
he
was gonna-
did that and never had a meter.
Right.
Now he's got a meter. Well,
Yeah.
that's different. This guy, his house was counted as a house, and it sounds like I understand why now.
Yeah.
But the number of opportunities we give people to
Right.
raise their hands and didn't.
That's why, you know, I'm saying, like, if we choose to do anything, there's gotta be conditions behind it, and we can't foot the bill for it.
How are you gonna make him pay for it to remove it, one thing? And if he doesn't do anything, he just says, I don't wanna do it, what are you gonna do to him?
I don't know. That's a Jamie
Then we
question.
got a meter sitting there for nothing, can't we just pull that meter and use it somewhere else, don't that benefit us more?
Well, I mean,
We can, but it
that's
doesn't
an
cost us
option. That's
money.
what we gotta decide.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So if we pull the meter, we cap it in case there's the
Right.
next owner.
Right.
Right.
But we still out the cost of the labor for the meter pit, we're out the cost of the cap.
Yeah. And that might exceed the cost of a meter.
But, yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
We pay them for each meter that's put in the ground.
Yeah. So we would have to pay them to pull,
I
we
mean-
already paid them to put it in.
If we
We're paying to
treat
pull it
him
out
like
and pay
the
to put it
storage
in.
building, somebody's gotta pay us for that meter pit.
I mean, but if you can't get any money, it would benefit us to move that meter somewhere else and use it for somebody else.
I understand
know.
I understand what you're saying, but we're in the business to make money.
Okay, but you're not gonna make any money if he's not gonna give you anything. And you
But-
just got a meter sitting there for nothing.
So what would be your solution?
I don't know, well, if it don't cost us as much to just pull it. like
It
you
ain't
say-
gonna cost us nothing to pull the meter,
Right, and then use it somewhere else.
but it's
But then
gonna
you gotta
cost us
buy a
to
whole new
leave the
meter
meter
pit.
pit.
So then you gotta buy a whole new meter pit, and you're eating the cost of the meter pit that's already put in there, and then you gotta buy a new meter pit for wherever you do use that meter.
I'm just saying, it don't make no sense to me to leave it sitting there if we're not gonna make any money off of it whatsoever.
Well, to me, it doesn't make any sense for having 6 years of opportunity to
But-
do things, and you don't do things.
Well, I
and then you just say,
understand
hey, you know how many people out here tell me, I knew nothing about this.
And, yeah,
There-
that's,
I had some people that recently moved in and like, I had no idea there was a water system going in there. How could you not know?
They missed the whole water tower thing going up.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you, John. He should've known.
yeah, that's why, you know, I think he should have known.
I guess,
How much are we paying for?
I guess what I would say, let's
Trying to find it
research
in all of this.
It'd be on the
and
bill.
see what it costs to put in that meter pit, less meter. Okay, and then
I want my whole packet.
present him with a bill, because we have to replace that meter pit.
That's kind of where I would lean. And that would, you know, but if I wanna make sure that if we're gonna, you know, however we're gonna do this, I don't know if we put it in our ordinance or resolution somehow to set a standard, if anybody, cause,
I don't know that you'd wanna put it in an ordinance, maybe a resolution,
Yeah.
something temporary, because once the water project is done, it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
We don't
just-
need it anymore.
Just some of this, even if it's just a policy that we adopt, it may not have to be any of
Yeah.
that thing, just a policy.
$1,750.
$1,750 or $17?
$1,750 for a 5/8 water meter with service assembly.
Is that the pit or no?
That's, yeah, that's what the pit, that's what we're paying Hettinger.
With the
Okay, so
meter in.
that's the pit and meter both, right?
Yeah, I'd just like to see if we can use that meter somewhere else as a free meter.
I
somehow,
agree with you
And then
100%.
start making money off that meter.
Yeah, I mean,
off
I,
the water
I,
bill.
I agree with you 100%, but we need to recoup something here.
yeah.
I'm just saying if it comes out with we can't get nothing out of it, then let's put us somewhere where we can get something out of them.
If it's sitting there, it's technically costing us money sitting there. It's also gonna cost us money to relocate it.
I'm just thinking of
So-
a free meter for somebody else.
Yeah, it's not a free meter, it's a
Not
private
really
meter.
great.
But just so you know, it's not a case of we can't get any money out of this individual. Because we have a couple of people that never pay their sewer, but it comes straight out of their taxes.
That's true.
Because if you just let people slide by with, oh, I can't pay, I can't afford this, then everyone's gonna say, I can't afford my electricity, I can't afford it.
I understand. I agree with you.
But I also agree with you that we should use that meter somewhere else, and then we'll figure out the difference. I don't know if Hettinger can pull that pit too and reuse it, the meter pit.
Well, it's gonna be added labor.
Yeah, I know.
They're gonna charge us to dig it up out of the ground, fill the hole back in to satisfy that customer, and then move,
Non-customer.
huh?
That would be a non-customer. Once we remove it.
And precedent is set.
Resident.
Right, yeah, well, I wanna make sure, if we're gonna do anything, we set a precedent that we're gonna be comfortable with, because it likely will happen again.
So, I mean, it's either the cost of moving the meter pit or buying a new meter pit, leave that one there.
I would say just buy a new one.
Yeah,
Put it in.
leave that one there in case the next owner. Ready to go.
Do we,
And that's the other option you have. You're saying you can't get any money from the guy. We can actually file a lien on that property. If that guy ever sells it,
To
that-
pay for the meter.
Yeah.
to pay for the meter pit, which I'm guessing would be around $1,200 maybe? Cause I think the meters themselves are like $350 or something, but anywho, but that's an option
So
of,
what do we need to do?
well, we can either, I'd like to decide it tonight so we get an answer out there, but we just need to document what our policy is gonna be, vote on it, and I don't think we need a resolution, I think we just need a policy that you guys vote on, and
Yeah.
if Jamie says we need a resolution, we can do that next week, but we can at least get our policy set tonight.
I say we pull the meter, put a new meter pit in somewhere else,
And are we charging this individual for doing so?
and then have Hettinger break out.
Here's my thoughts on that, since he's had all these opportunities to say, hey, take me off the list, he pays for a pit.
That's my leaning, is that he needs to pay what
Yeah.
our costs are that we're gonna lose
Yeah,
out
that's what
on.
I'm saying, Hettinger could tell us how much that is,
Okay,
and then
We don't have to include that on a policy, we just.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, Mindy can find that out, so, I'll take a motion to adopt that policy.
I'll make the motion that we need to adopt the policy that if a customer does not want the meter and the pit is installed, then the pit stays and the customer or resident pays for the pit.
That,
I'll second.
specify that that's on camping lots that are campers only. People,
Correct.
people that live in their
Yeah.
campers, not residences, cause residents have to have them.
Yeah, they have to have.
So you second? All in favor?
I,
Alright, policy set. Anything else on the water?
Has the POA opened up the other?
No, and I'd like to know when that happens.
What, the meter, their fill station?
Yeah, their fill station.
They didn't have the cost information at the last POA meeting, so they couldn't vote on it. So they will be voting on it the next POA meeting, so.
And we need to, and I wrote some additions to the water ordinance policy, the water ordinance, excuse me. And, we need to get Jamie's input on that before we can vote on it. But we need to get that in place 6 months ago.
Mhm.
But there's some, we keep learning stuff, we
Yeah.
keep trying to keep
We will-
up with everything, and we're trying to make it right.
Ri-
We're trying to
Ri-
make
Ri-
it fair.
Yeah, Richard's on it. We will have it ready for approval next council meeting.
I got a question, but I don't think anybody here can really answer. But, you know, when they cut across the roads, now they put a concrete in, the roads on either side of that concrete's just falling apart.
Yeah, they gotta fix that.
That's on them, right?
Yeah, that's
You
what I
know-
talked to Aaron about, they gotta fix the roads.
Right, you know what I'm talking about, going down the big
I know
hill, that
exactly what
one,
you're talking about,
gravel,
'cause-
and they come up and the curb.
It's horrible.
Coming down
On the
from the-
golf cart, it just,
Oh, yeah.
maybe not on your slick.
No, it's worse on my little scooter. That thing has no shocks.
Over
That's
by
just,
Carol Powers? Is that- Or a different one?
Oh, there's several of them. There's one going over to Robin Page's place. That even hurts the car. They try to put a little bit of asphalt next to it. But yeah, I talked to Aaron and they're supposed to fix it because Holiday is destroyed.
Yeah, so it was coming
And so
down
is
from
that
the
one.
storage units, that whole road, there wasn't nothing wrong with that road.
Yeah.
Now it's all tore up. And what about the sides of the road where they use the machinery and it's just tore up? All down the sides of the roads, and it's just coming out, you know, and
Yeah.
eating it out.
Yeah, they'll have to,
Okay.
So they're gonna
So-
pave whole roads?
Is anybody reporting these? I guess my thoughts on the edge of the concrete, are we holding water?
no,
We're not deep enough to hold water yet?
no, it's not, the concrete stays and asphalt's breaking up next to
you know,
it.
the asphalt's sinking.
But it's,
So we're getting speed bumps.
yeah.
What's the chip is on it, just,
Is that a bad thing?
I don't know, yeah.
well,
Speed bumps
it's,
are
it's,
bad.
it's
Are they
the
bad?
edges
I was
of it,
kidding.
there's just potholes and.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the one speeding.
But I assume, and
We
I don't
can.
know for sure, but I assume that they'll just be re-chipping and sealing Holiday and up through there. So they just have to restore it to what it is now.
Here's the thing about it. If everybody's reporting it, here's what I'm gonna suggest. If everybody's reporting it, we have documentation, we have pictures would be wonderful. Then we have documentation at the end of the project, when they're asking for the last check.
Yeah.
Mindy is real good about holding the last check.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful about that, cause you can only hold it for so long before you're breaking the law.
Caldwell never did finish the 3 things I wanted on the water tower, so.
But they should have done pre-con photos,
They did.
so,
Well, should we start working on that now instead of at the end of the project?
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, let me rephrase that. If they're still,
They can't,
Right.
they can't
Now-
restore
now
it right now,
like-
but you
like
can
the
bring
three-
up.
like the three-way stop, it's for the most part done.
Right, they're them working on it, I guess.
Right. But if they're still working in the area,
Right,
no,
right.
I won't dog them for that now.
On the subject of reporting things, I wasn't prepared to say anything tonight, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The new city website is almost done. Part of that is going to be a system where citizens can report a concern, and it will go through a tracking system here, that will keep track of those.
Oh,
You
so
don't
now
know
we're
that
like
yet
a
either,
big
but
city.
Mm-hmm.
you don't know that yet, but
To your email?
Yeah. Put more on poor Mindy and.
it'll go to
Paige.
whoever, depends on who, what
Matt.
type of concern it is, where it'll go.
Might have to hire another employee for that, that's what you
Well, that's what I was saying, now we're a big city, cause a lot of the cities up north have that, where you,
You know, they could actually do that over text message.
no, we wanna cause the most work.
You can send pictures and
Chat-
places.
chat-
What?
chat-
So just a little preview that is coming. I don't know if the reporting system will be live by next council meeting, but the website will be. And we do have our .gov email address or domain now too, so we're official. As part of the new website launch, we'll switch that over and update the email addresses and all that kind of stuff. The old address and the old emails will still work. We'll just have this one will be our official. So.
That's all I had on water.
Okay. Next was executive session, but Jamie's not
You
here.
can call him.
I think for what need to go for executive session, I think we can wait until next meeting. I would rather him be here, or at least be able to see him, I think. Citizen participation, take one. So is there anybody here that would like to talk about anything that's on the agenda for tonight?
I think I got a couple questions.
Come up to the
Make this it.
microphone. Say your name and
My name is Juan Gorstiza. I go by Johnny. I had a couple questions and you said I kind of had to wait. The one thing was about the ordinance noise, I guess, that you were discussing at the very first. What was that about?
that was on the technology and advanced industries overlay
Right.
zone.
Okay. And is that just noise, or are you gonna, because you mentioned something about making sure water wasn't part of it, or am I thinking
Right, yeah,
two different-
my recommendation is that we would not allow water cooling. We would only allow air cooling.
So can you make that ordinance for noise and water?
It would
Same
all be
time?
part of the same ordinance. That zone would have a
Okay.
set of this is all the requirements for a zone.
And I'm out of the loop of all this, so I'm
Right,
kind
yeah.
of jumping in and you're filling me in, so I appreciate that. Also, something about the 1 to 2 acres for the battery storage.
Mhm.
What was that for?
So basically what they do is they put in a bunch of lithium batteries. They buy electricity when it's cheap, or sometimes they actually get paid to take electricity because weird electricity rules where they can't pump too much in. That's why sometimes windmills are turned off and such. So sometimes they actually get paid to take energy, and they store it there in those batteries, and then when demand is high, they release it back to the grid to help with the power generation.
Okay. Alrighty. Is light pollution an issue for you guys? Have you guys thought about that?
Any lights that we put in with that would be considered dark sky friendly. So basically, they've got like tops over the top of them so that they don't push light up in the atmosphere. So there's like parking lot lights or something. They light the parking lot, but they don't light up the whole area.
It's just kind of the beauty of where we're at. you
Yeah.
know?
And just so you know, I mean, the batteries, if they would go in, they would be over there by Ullery, by the fire station and the Evergy plant. But this TAI we're talking about, we would not allow anywhere except east of 69 Highway too. So,
Yeah. Well, still that power plant still puts off quite a bit. What we see, I mean,
yeah,
not lots. It
Right.
depends on the day, of course.
yeah.
And then you mentioned something about maybe a totally different deal. $6 per person, and that was for the pet.
That was for the animal shelter. So
Yeah.
what a city would contribute would be $6 per resident. It wouldn't come, you know,
Okay,
you
per
wouldn't pay
resident,
it.
not person.
Right.
Okay.
So we would say we have 1,000 residents, we would pay in $6,000 a year as a city.
I was just hoping that it was per resident, not per person, because there's 2 or 3 people per house or resident, you know, and that could multiply to be a lot more than $6,000.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to ask on that. And I think listening to you guys about this water project, I think the QC, as I used to do some QC or whatever, but I think bringing some of these issues up before the project is over, because as they're cleaning up, they can go back and redo the roads and redo moving some hydrants and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I think you guys are doing a great job, and I appreciate you guys doing all this. I think I need to get more involved. I'm really interested, and I think it's great for the whole community. So thanks.
Hopefully we form a couple committees, maybe you can get involved in one of those. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Hey, perfect timing too, got right in your 3 minutes. Anybody else? Come on, Mike, make your daughter come up and say something.
Mister, I have something I forgot.
Okay,
Quite important. I had talked to the mayor about this actually last week, but bringing on,
yeah,
a part-time officer, another part-time officer. Actually, I had him working with me Friday. So it'd be Curtis West. He's a full-time certified officer, actually works down at, Lake
I'm okay with that, but I got a question for you. I went to the bash the other night. There was like 7 Lacine officers.
Where?
The
Oh,
the
the
Lacine
fireworks
bash thing.
A lot of part-time, and they've got,
I was like, this,
Yeah, they've got a ton of officers.
well, they've got.
yeah, there was at
and I
least
don't-
7.
They just had one graduate academy, so they're like, I think, 3 or 4 full-time, and I think that's
And then they got some reserves.
Yeah, I find that, really appreciate what Corey and Brett do, because you look at Lacine, about the same size we are.
Yeah.
And how many officers they have and how many officers we have, and, you know.
Well, I wasn't surprised to see that many officers, but they were all wearing Lacine police.
Yeah.
You know, usually they
Yeah.
bring in some county guys or
Yeah,
whatever.
I saw a picture in the paper or something a while back, and with their holding force, like, wow, that's a lot of people.
The sheriffs were there, John.
Oh, yeah, they were there too, but I was just surprised how many Lacine police officers.
There's one
there were.
parked right in front of my house.
I think they have 3 or 4 full-time officers and then some part-time.
By the way, that was really cool what Lacine does down there. I took my grandkids to it.
Yeah.
And the fireworks show was pretty sweet.
Better than ours.
Hmm?
Better than ours? Like the after show?
The after show was sweet. That was like battle royale.
When you come back in on Thursday, then I'll have you come up and then we can swear in and
Oh, yeah, I gotta do
where I
that.
get the paperwork, so.
Speaking of fireworks, before we move into old business, this was the most rambunctious fireworks season since I've been out here, as far as just pow, 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 pow.
Oh, yeah.
It sounded like a war zone. I thought it was great.
And it's
Real
not
pretty.
gonna stop either now
Um,
that it's legal year-round.
Yeah, but I just thought it was like, you know, being the 250th anniversary of, you know, of the country, I thought, you know, a little bit disappointed, just nationwide, that there hasn't been a big deal made about it. You know, like, I barely remember, but in '76 for the bicentennial, towns were painting fire hydrants, patriotic things, and all that stuff, you know. Nothing really happened big for that, but tell you what, our citizens sure celebrated it big, so that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Our citizens like to blow things up.
Yes, they do. Moving into old business, City Hall. Curtis, you got any updates for what you've been looking at, or?
No, not yet, I'm trying to draw it up. I did some research on towns. I've talked to several people. You know, I think we just passed Pleasanton as population. We're as many people as, Lacine. Drexel's got 972 people. We're at around 1,200 people. Lacine's around 11 to 1,300. You know, I look at Amsterdam, they 216 people, they have a gas station, they have a post office, they have a diner, you know, some people had reached out to me and said they weren't sure about the change, and they asked me, the question I had, a couple people asked me, is what are the benefits to have a gas station, right? And so I pointed out, every time you go to Lacine or Drexel or Lewisburg, every time you go in and buy gas, a donut, a Coke, a beer, or whatever you buy in there, portion of those taxes, everything is taxed, and it goes in. So our Lynn Valley money is being spent in all these other, and so I just think it's something we really need to start talking about,
Yeah.
besides the city hall.
But you have to
Yeah.
understand the history. Amsterdam was a booming town back when they were still able to mine the coal here. That's where that gas station come from and all that. And also, you had to go across state lines to get 5-0 beer.
Yep,
So
right.
that gas station had so much until Kansas finally came around
Yeah.
to.
Right. But I'm just looking at the other communities and what they can support, like Drexel
yeah.
and.
Every bit of support pretty much the city gets comes from property taxes on residential property taxes.
Yeah.
We've got to find ways to lower that burden. And,
Absolutely.
you know, people go out to eat anyway. They go to Casey's and Lacine anyway. Something in our city limits that we get that revenue from not costing them anything else, it's just that the sales tax revenue comes to us now instead of another city.
Yeah.
Is, you know, and that can help
I
lessen the
agree,
burden.
that would
you
be
know.
awesome. I'm just saying where that all came from.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
already,
that's,
that stuff was paid for a long time.
yeah,
ago.
that's the thing, you know, we're, as far as I know, we're still the newest city in this state.
But
We're
they
the
did
only,
have a really cool car show last week.
we're the only growing city in our county, and we have no business infrastructure whatsoever. You know, other than little bits in the POA, which can't keep a restaurant. And, you know, we got the lake shop, we got a little bit there, but, you know,
And unique rides.
unique rides. But, you know, we don't have what these other cities have, and that's part of the reason our property tax burden is what it is. So,
So how do you even draw in a gas station in case somebody come move here?
traffic studies, things like that. There's ways to do it, but, you know, part of it is just, you know, we don't have, other cities have have downtowns that, you know, people can rent businesses in. Well, nobody's gonna come, you know, Sally Sue's not gonna come in here and put a coffee shop in and spend $100,000 on a building. So we're at a disadvantage there, so we have to figure that one out. And that's part of what some of these committees that I'm talking about can help us figure out.
And I think certain retail, a gas station, maybe a diner, a laundromat,
Mhm.
something like, you know, Corey had brought up, I don't think a grocery store would be anything because most of the people that do live and they travel up to the city to work, a large portion of it. So they're gonna shop in the city.
Yeah.
So I think there's certain things that would not do well.
Yeah,
I agree with, the grocery store would not do it.
no,
But a restaurant,
a restaurant would be
Yeah,
good, like
a nice, yeah,
a laundromat, car
laundromat,
wash. There's
just,
things like that that can,
I
An
think that
arcade?
can be utilized.
an arcade, well, that'd be fine, wouldn't it?
A roller
You know,
rink
those are coming back,
a
you know.
roller rink, yes.
with a bowling alley.
A bowling alley, yeah. There we go, we're gonna build a bowling alley with a roller rink
Well, I
and an
like your-
arcade.
You're the newest old town.
Yeah.
Maybe
That
we
would
put
totally
a
go.
couple
Yeah.
lanes in the
Arcade,
city hall.
t-ball, air hockey.
Put a couple
You guys all
lanes
saw
in
that
the new
picture,
city
right?
hall there.
I sent you all that picture, right, of the downtown?
Like Knights of Columbus, right?
Bring the
So-
80s back. Just the ball.
As part of what he's been working on with City Hall too, we've also kind of tasked him, and Mindy, a little bit on 2400 Road and Ullery Road. They're in horrible shape.
See what we can find out who's got.
Who owns them, what we can do, because the quarries, my understanding, are supposed to help pay for the upkeep. We got the edges of 2400 Road that are crumbling off down there. We've got a very dangerous intersection down there, that Ullery and 2400 that, you know, trucks have decided to go play in, you know, when they weren't supposed to. So that's something
Yeah, the
else that's on the.
quarries were supposed to be painted.
Yeah, so, you know, once we
It's
get a
not
little bit
writing
more
it,
information
nobody
on
can
the
find it.
ownership of this, I would like to pull it together, Lynn County, Miami County, us, the quarries, and even KDOT, cause sometimes KDOT will throw money at projects like this for safety reasons, and see if we can't figure out
Yeah.
something to do for those two corridors, because, you know, they're not great. There's no shoulder, there's, you know, it's just,
Plus, I think Mindy had said something the other day about the quarry that's over here. They're up and down the road, beating and bashing it.
Yeah, because
I
they're,
think
they're
they're
also,
supposed to have a little,
they're supposed to add some skin in the game.
there you go.
and, you know, the other, Mindy came with an option on it too, is if we can't get them to help pony up, maybe we put a no trucks over so many ton on the sign on the roads, and
Down Valley they go.
That's why she's our clerk,
Mhm.
because she thinks.
Yeah.
The guy that bought my farm is putting in another farm, you know that, right?
yeah.
So you're gonna have even more truck traffic.
Mhm.
Good job selling.
Yeah.
Thanks for the help.
Thanks,
Well,
George.
thanks, yeah. So any other,
So I'm still like drawing up,
Yeah.
get a concept, but next meeting will have something more concrete of what should look like inside and stuff, so.
I mean, I know there's some concern about starting up another project while we've got these others going on, but, and
Well,
I
looks like
understand
you've
that.
been busy with that biker gang hanging at your house.
On the fiscal responsibility side of getting out of this building and quit paying for something that's falling down, that we have no equity in, kind of
Yeah.
also is something to weigh into that too.
And Corey's got a big hole behind his too.
Yeah, the whole floor,
Yeah.
and the lease is coming up next year, correct?
Yeah, the lease comes up next year, so we probably will have to renew it one more time or see if we can go month to month, but I'm gonna make a vow right here and now that we will not renew it again after this time.
Okay.
Because we're just throwing money away
Be
on this
careful
building that was
with
supposed to be
making
here for a
vows,
year.
man.
How long has this been?
Oh, how long's this been here, Mike? 6 years?
This was here 6 months before I was on the council. I sat in that room over there watching you guys trying to figure out what you were gonna do about a city hall. And this just kinda came up as we don't know what else
So
to
you've been on
do.
the council for a full 4 years and then another year.
Yeah, so
Or 5 years, so about 6 years.
five, 6 years, yeah. So, you know, if I thought we could get out of here before we had to renew the lease, but I'm not sure when it renews, but there's no way we could get something built in that time frame. So, Jamie was gonna do some checking and see if we can go month to month, huh?
Saw the pop-ups.
Maybe we'll just buy a bunch of these here, you know, we'll just, yeah.
132,000 approximately that we've thrown in the trash.
Wow, that's a very sobering number.
No, it's a misleading number.
We could have put that into something that was
Okay,
ours.
so back then, Dan wanted to put in a $2.2 million
Mm.
city hall, so we saved a lot of money right there.
Yeah, if we would have done that, yeah, but I don't think you
That's
guys
what
would
they were
have.
pushing for.
Yeah, I don't think you guys would have passed that.
And if we wouldn't have spent that all, you guys would have been in that back building back there still.
No, we'd have a new city hall.
So it's a work in progress, you know, we will, you know, the goal is not to spend any more money, you know, than we're spending leasing this building, including the increase it's gonna go up to. And taking into account that a new building is going to be cheaper to heat and cool than this building. LED lighting versus fluorescents are gonna save us money on electricity, all sorts of things like that, that will not only save us money on, you know, we're not leasing a building out, but we're gonna save utility costs by having a new building that's insulated well and that kind of stuff, so. Meter hookup payments. You were gonna look into options for payment plans or.
And I totally forgot about it, didn't do anything.
Okay. We'll talk about it next time. Water
Can you put it on
tower
your
antenna.
agenda, Fred?
I've been sick for the last month.
Yeah.
The water tower antenna. I know the county wants to put some, then you can speak, I'll let Corey speak to exactly what they're wanting to do for that, and then we can talk about the issues.
They're just wanting to put in the, repeater and antenna on top of it.
thought
They
they-
sent us, they just emailed me over a, contract,
Mhm.
and I sent it to the city attorney.
Yeah.
Sign it, that's what it was.
Yeah, Jamie had some concerns with the way some things were worded in there. I know he was gonna work on it. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that is something that we'll keep on the agenda until we resolve it. I think it's a very important thing to do, because you guys don't have good radio service up here, and be very, very, very helpful to have that. Water ordinance, we're skipping for now, because we got some wording stuff we gotta do in it. Is there any new business tonight from anyone?
I have something, but I know that it's gonna be one of them impossible things to get a resolution for. And that's, BOA used to have somebody come in and bale the grass, the high grass. And behind our house, it's probably getting close to 3 feet tall.
Wow.
We mow 2 or 3 widths just to keep them away from our house. And the POA, I guess, had been advised not to bail it anymore, because I guess somebody heard that somebody was getting the money and it wasn't staying here with the POA. Anyhow, got pretty ugly. So the POA attorney, from best that I can, and I'm just, this is all from memory. POA attorney said that anytime somebody's on someone else's land, that's trespassing. And I don't know that us as a city can do anything else about it. We have a tall grass ordinance, but how do you enforce tall grass on unimproved properties?
Right, 'cause our ordinance specifically says if it's an unimproved property,
Right.
it's exempt.
So I don't know what, if anything, the city can do about it.
Change your ordinance and upset a lot of people.
Well, I mean, you can ticket all these people, but then all you're gonna do is just ticket somebody that ain't gonna pay.
And then you got lots that's just full of woods
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just weeds
yeah,
and
I don't, like I
nobody
said,
ever clear them out.
I don't know there's a whole lot we can do.
I mean, if there was more trees in them lots behind my house, I wouldn't worry too much about it, but it's just solid grass.
Mhm.
I mean, right now, thank goodness we've had a winter here, and heaven forbid if it ever goes up.
I mean, it's a fire hazard too, to a degree, isn't it? I mean, a grass fire could, but of course, so are the,
We had an issue similar to this, it wasn't the grass, it was the cedar trees.
yeah, I was gonna say it's the same as,
Trying, a guy was in there trying to get me to sign off that the cedar trees were all a fire hazard and force everybody to cut them down. I think at that time you didn't intend to.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just something that I'm seeing out there that I don't know how you address it, cause that would be
Well, it isn't so much how this council addresses it. All you need is probably 150 gallon of diesel fuel. You won't have
it's
any
a
grass
little close
lying.
to my house, John.
No, you pour the diesel fuel on there, it kills the grass, you don't light it on.
Oh, you didn't say that. Just trying to help a neighbor out.
I
Oh
think,
my God.
I think the EPA might have a, maybe.
It might fall under criminal.
Well, see there, look who you said that in front of, but
But,
anyhow.
but I love you so much.
But
I'll go to
anyhow,
prison for you.
I know it's a sticky wicket, and I know that POA's
Do you know
probably
who
not
owns the
gonna go
property?
there, and then I know that we
Do we
can't
know
as
what
a
other
city.
cities around us do? Cause I mean, yes, we have way more vacant lots and things like this in other cities, but every city has vacant lots that, you know.
Yeah, they go mowing themselves and
And then-
charge the owners.
That
Because
is
those
true.
cities don't typically differentiate between improved and
Yeah,
unimproved
yeah.
lots. They just.
So
So
we're,
we'd have to go pay someone to mow 'em
Mhm.
and then put it on their taxes.
Yeah.
but like you said, there is no differentiation in a city
Right.
as far as unimproved.
Right, so we would, I mean, if we were to do that, we'd take that differentiation away. All of a sudden, half the city is in violation.
More than half.
Yeah,
But do you know who the owner is?
Not without
You
going
what?
to the county website.
and paid to be super busy writing up code violations all day long.
She said February, not December, it's okay.
We'd have to hire another person to take care of just the grass issues.
I mean, and this is probably a Jamie question, but I mean, if we did like other cities and just showed up and mow it, we would hire somebody to come bail it, and any money made would go against the cost of mowing.
Okay, thought. The POA can't bail that land because it's trespassing. And again, it's too bad Jamie's not here. If the city bailed it, or city took care of it because it's too tall,
Still
and then
trespassing.
we don't charge the people for it because we're recouping from the bailing, is that something we could do?
What are you gonna do with the bales?
Hmm?
What are you gonna do with the bales?
So,
You let the guy,
Then you just made money off of it and it's private property.
it offsets the cost of mowing it. Say it's a Jamie question,
Yeah,
but
this
it's a
is
thought.
definitely a Jamie question.
It's one way we could potentially address it.
I tell you, there's not enough property out here anymore to bring a baler in anymore.
Yeah,
Party
Anyway.
pooper,
Hmm?
changed a lot.
party pooper.
Ah, I mean, there used to be a lot more open area, but
believe they call it Reality Renee.
Ah,
Reality Renee.
Anyways, that's all I had.
all right. Anybody else have anything?
What you got?
When are we gonna do this tiny home thing?
I don't know.
Well, the ordinance, that's next.
Yeah, that's right. You're
Is
supposed
it
to work on
next
the
month?
ordinance. I remember we
Is
are.
it 2 weeks to the next one, or a month
2
to
weeks.
the next one? All right.
Okay. Once we have that, then we'll turn it over to P and Z and get their take on it, and then we can vote on it.
What about the KOA? Don't they have to do their covenant thing?
Well, I don't care because other people can come in and put them in outside the POA.
Okay. Well,
Hey, man.
wait, where are they gonna put them?
Do those
I don't
little homes there?
Somebody
Owned
could
by
buy
tiny
that
home?
land right over there and build a over 55 tiny home community if they have the capability to do so.
That I know of,
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
that's another way we can
That's
help
scary.
spread the tax burden and not put more people inside the POA.
We'd have to annex that, it's not city.
I know, but, you know, whoever did that would want to because that way we could provide water and sewer,
That's true.
you know, so.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Reality Renee, yeah. Anybody want to talk about citizen participation now for anything, any topic they want? Nope. Oh, you gonna talk again?
How would go about, I was told that there's no soliciting.
Yes.
I'm trying to generate and maybe see about getting into this water project and connecting from the water meter to the residents. What's the best way you find a solution to do that? Just mailers?
You're wanting to,
As a contractor?
Yeah.
Well, you are a contractor with the city, right?
I am.
Well, don't you guys give out the contractors list?
We give it out, yes.
I think everybody else I've seen is just advertising on the
Yeah.
Facebook.
Facebook.
And that's kind of what I was thinking, but not everybody's on Facebook is what I'm
And up to the
assuming.
mailboxes.
So I was just trying to figure out,
You can
I was
pin a-
just told knocking the door isn't the way to do it.
shameless plug for OneLindValley.com. You can go list your business on there too.
Oh, there you go.
I just heard about that today, so. But if they're on Facebook, but
That site's available for anybody. Right now, the only people know about it are on Facebook or that they've shared it because
Right.
it's not official city
But
thing, so I
Johnny, is
can't
it
have you send.
soliciting when you walk up to your neighbor's house, say, hey, have you seen my dog? Do you need water right
Is that dog digging your water line?
I can fix that.
No, I did talk to a guy that was totally against soliciting. He's like, nope, because I don't want no one knocking on my door. So I was just curious if you guys
Yeah,
had a solution for that, or if that's something that,
That's an interesting question.
because worst
there
case is
any
I could
kind
just
of
figure out
exemption
addresses and start sending out.
that we could do for that to help, because that would really help people out, the water project specifically.
Mailboxes, everybody goes in.
Yeah, everybody goes to the mailbox.
So,
And
so
word
just
of
keeping
mouth.
it what it is.
Yeah,
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Once you start, then
yeah.
Get you a copy of that free meter list. There's your contact list.
You have it?
Got all the property.
Go ask them about their dog.
Okay, one last thing before we adjourn. I want to do a community plug before we adjourn that this Friday night, the POA is hosting a music bingo benefit at 7 o'clock at the clubhouse. And yes, I'm running it, but this isn't about me, it's about the Ritchie family. They're our Lynn Valley neighbors. They recently lost their daughter and they're raising their grandson now. That kind of loss doesn't get made whole, but we can help lift some of the weight. So anybody that wants to come out and play music bingo, have some fun, donate some money to the Ritchie family, Friday night, 7 o'clock at the clubhouse.
and what? Is it 80s?
Oh, the theme is One Hit Wonders.
Yeah. Is my wife still banned for cheating the last time? Actually, we're going out of town Friday, I don't know. But it was really fun last time.
We got a few more planned for the year. We're skipping August, but we got the rest of the year planned out.
You're a good MC, man.
Thank you. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
No.
No.
Well, you can stay, we'll leave
Tie
it.
this up. You can tie this up, make me vote.
I vote